According to Diddy's defense, what he's saying is that his mental capacity to commit the crimes while he was wasted is part of why he's saying, he should not be charged in these crimes. He even has a doctor who is lined up to testify. Now, prosecutors have filed their opposition to this line of testimony. Basically, they're saying he has a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt. So I don't know what he's trying to pull here.
Right. But which crime is he saying he did?
I guess what he's saying is the effects of the drugs and alcohol on his memory and cognitive function. They're saying his defense is trying to say because of that, he shouldn't be held liable for what happened. So I don't know. This should be interesting to see how this plays out. Prosecutors also want to block testimony of a forensic video expert that says that video was basically altered. That's what Diddy
Which video? Cassie?
With Cassie, yes. So the trial starts, by the way, in just a week. So we're getting
some of the biggest names in music are now facing serious scrutiny. Behind the glittering lights of fame lies a darker truth. How far some parents are willing to go for money and recognition. This is the story of Usher's early rise, his complex relationship with his mother, and the disturbing environment surrounding young artists in the entertainment industry. What really happened at Diddy's infamous Flavor Camp? And how deeply were industry power players involved in shaping and possibly exploiting the lives of children?
And Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're going to put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there. You got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs?
Usher entered the music industry at a young age, initially managed by his mother. After being signed by L.A. Reid, who would later help launch Justin Bieber's career, Usher faced vocal issues that threatened his future. That's when his mother turned to Sean Diddy Combs for help. Diddy offered to mentor Usher by having him live at his home. Despite concerns over sending a 13-year-old to live with an adult man, Usher's mother agreed, believing it would be a career-defining opportunity.
Push me out. They didn't want me in. They would actually say, you're too close to the project. No, I'm not. Because remember, Usher went to stay with Puffy. Now, that was a business decision right there. Because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know him.
How old was he?
Usher was 15. He lost his voice.
Physically or just?
Puberty. He's growing. And he lost his voice. So he lost his range. So the record company felt like, okay, this is not a great investment. So Puffy was there. And I would never forget it. We had this conversation. And he said, you're going to have to trust me. That was really, really...
Rather than opting for a traditional development path, Usher's mother made a choice based on potential fame. She later admitted she barely knew Diddy, but trusted the situation. Usher would later recall his time at Diddy's Flavor Camp, revealing he was exposed to adult behavior far too early. He described being surrounded by mature situations that no child should witness, raising critical questions about supervision, boundaries, and exploitation in the music industry.
To New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your
Jodeci,
parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige, they ain't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Usher continued working with Diddy after his debut album, with Diddy using his influence to push Usher's career forward. However, rumors began to swirl about the nature of their relationship. Though no concrete evidence has ever surfaced, industry insiders have long commented on the unusual closeness between the two. While much remains anecdotal and unconfirmed, the speculation has followed them for decades.
And people know that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember, Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up with somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right.
Whispers in the music industry suggest that a disturbing incident involving Diddy may have led to Usher being hospitalized. While these claims are unverified and largely based on secondhand accounts, they continue to fuel suspicions about what really went on behind closed doors during Usher's formative years.
What happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not going to speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that. And they may be doing something. They may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking and we was around some people, something like that. And then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when probably say, yo, man, I don't F with them niggas. I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time.
Usher's ties to Diddy became even more controversial when an old video resurfaced from one of Diddy's parties. In it, Diddy is seen joking with Kevin Hart about sharing a room with Usher during Flavor Camp. Viewers found the comments deeply inappropriate, especially considering Usher's age at the time. The clip reignited public concern and further blurred the lines between mentorship and misconduct.
I mean, don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close to the bed. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No, I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if you can, just let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even. I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. I should look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the guard stage. My brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and I mean, damn, pause, but like just how. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always.
Later in life, Usher faced legal issues, including a private settlement in 2012 over personal health matters. While the details remain sealed, the case brought additional scrutiny to his life and past relationships, with many revisiting questions about the people who influenced him early in his career.
They were obtained by Radar Online, and apparently back in 2009 or 2010, he had contracted herpes and passed it on to a celebrity stylist having unprotected sex with her. He had to pay $1.1 million to that woman for severe emotional distress, and he also covered her medical bills. That case was settled back in 2012. Now, allegedly, there was a greenish discharge from his penis.
Whoa, that's a booger. Is that a booger? Your penis boogers? I didn't know
But
that.
he said he went to the doctor. He was cleared of any STD, so the woman went on and continued. Now, if I notice a greenish discharge oozing out of his penis,
Say Nickelodeon.
I don't know that I would
That ain't
continue.
slime.
What you gonna say?
I know all these kids playing with slime nowadays, but no.
I don't care who you are, okay?
Nothing green supposed to be coming out your penis.
Nah, not at all.
That's not how this works. Yellow comes out.
Usher has never publicly addressed speculation about his sexuality, and that's his right. However, critics have pointed out a recurring theme in his close associations with controversial figures. One example is Orlando Brown, who made disturbing claims about his own experiences in the industry, though these statements are widely seen as unsubstantiated and unrelated.
Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And Cat Williams.
Bro, you smashed a lot of people.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
As Usher matured, he took on the role of mentor himself, most notably to Justin Bieber, who was also 13 when signed. Instead of guiding him directly, Usher reportedly arranged for Justin to spend time with Diddy, again with little to no parental oversight. To many, this echoed Usher's own early experience and raised serious concerns about history repeating itself. As Usher matured, he took on
by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad. Wow, look at your eyes.
Critics argue that Usher may have unintentionally enabled the same toxic dynamics that once affected him. Justin's early exposure to adult environments shocked fans and mental health experts alike. In a podcast, Usher made remarks about Justin that were considered highly inappropriate given Justin's age at the time, triggering widespread backlash and renewed debates about the responsibilities of mentors in the music world.
I didn't get to be with him for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. and then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
Years later, Justin Bieber opened up in an emotional Apple Music interview, breaking down in tears while reflecting on his troubled youth. He spoke about feelings of betrayal by both Diddy and Usher and expressed a strong desire to shield future young artists from the same hardships he endured.
Kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you.
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
There also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
You were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of managing he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and say, yeah, show you, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher's
Reports suggest that Justin's experience under Usher's mentorship had lasting effects on his mental health. Eventually, Justin distanced himself, even refusing to perform with Usher at a major televised event, symbolizing a clear break from their complicated history.
Shame, living, and all this sort of stuff in my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Do you think the person that the you of then was on a path of self-destruction?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark, but I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully learn from it.
Well, for me, music comes from somewhere.
Right.
Maybe it comes from this youthful naivety and this desire to escape something. And then you get out there in front of the world, and then it comes from a place of wanting more of it.
Yeah. I mean, just think about how young I was and so impressionable. And you have everybody telling me how awesome I am at all times, and I just want people to understand, the psychology behind why I potentially could have problems in my life. So, yeah, thank you for being here and helping me tell that story. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call away.
Do you realize how important your story is? Every time I have a conversation with someone who's been through this unique type of experience, I'm searching for some kind of truth that can help.
I commend you for going there and asking the tough questions and the things that people don't want to talk about, and they don't want to go there because it's revealing, and I want people to take a look at my story, and hopefully my words can.
But it wasn't just industry figures who failed Justin. His own parents were also criticized for being absent during crucial moments. Instead of receiving support, Justin was often mocked and ridiculed. In hindsight, it's painfully clear he was a young person crying out for help in an industry that too often stays silent.
Rather, we have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms. Answer Justin Bieber.
I have little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay,
I got balloons.
Hey, this is a brand new.
Have your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother.
Yeah.
I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asking him as one of the questions, like, have you had the sex talk? This